It's the headline no one expected, and the motive no one's talking about. Donald Trump, the self-proclaimed peacemaker, is planning a whirlwind trip to Israel and Egypt, claiming it's to celebrate a historic peace deal. But make no mistake, this isn't diplomacy, it's performance. A made-for-TV global tour designed not to heal the world, but to rewrite history his way. He'll speak at Israel's Knesset, he'll stop in Cairo, and then he'll rush back to Washington, not for the American people, not for democracy, but to honor his fallen ally, Charlie Kirk, with the nation's highest civilian award, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Let's be clear, this isn't about peace. This is about power. Trump's team is spinning this as a victory for world peace, but anyone paying attention knows what's really happening. The same man who spent years tearing apart alliances, cozying up to dictators, and fueling division now wants to be remembered as a global unifier. The same man who once called journalists enemies of the people now wants to stand before the Knesset as a messenger of hope. But the truth, it's all a stage. He's not flying across the world for the hostages, he's flying for the headlines. Every movement, every photo op, every handshake, has been choreographed to recast his image, from chaos agent to peacemaker, from disgraced leader to global statesman. But beneath the showmanship, the motives couldn't be clearer. Trump is on a mission to rewrite his legacy, and he's doing it in front of the cameras. Yes, Hamas has agreed to a ceasefire. Yes, 48 hostages are being released. But this deal wasn't forged in compassion. It was forced in calculation. Trump needed a victory, something dramatic, something big enough to overshadow the scandals, the investigations, the endless string of indictments that follow him like a shadow he can't shake. So he calls it historic. He calls it a miracle. But behind the slogans, there's silence. Silence about the suffering. Silence about the destruction. Silence about the thousands who'll never come home. Because for Trump, every tragedy is a stage. Every headline, a brand opportunity, and when he lands back in D.C., the real show begins. Trump will march into the East Room of the White House, the same room once used for moments of unity, honor, and dignity, and he'll hand America's highest civilian award to a man who spent his short life spreading division. Charlie Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA, built his career not on service or sacrifice, but on outrage, targeting young Americans, feeding them disinformation, and weaponizing patriotism for political gain. He turned activism into propaganda and fear into currency. And now, Trump wants to honor him with the Presidential Medal of Freedom. That's right, the same medal once given to civil rights heroes, scientists, educators, and global peacemakers, now draped in the shadow of extremism. Trump calls it a great celebration. But for millions of Americans who still believe in truth, it feels more like a dark reminder of how far the bar has fallen. Don't be fooled, this isn't coincidence, it's symbolic theater. Trump's entire trip from Tel Aviv to Cairo to the East Room is designed to project legitimacy, to say, look, I'm still the world's leader. I'm still in control. But here's the dark irony. While Trump honors Kirk's legacy, millions of Americans are still fighting to undo it. Fighting voter suppression, fighting disinformation, fighting the toxic politics that Kirk and Trump helped create. The peace deal may be signed on paper, but the war over truth still rages on, not in Gaza, but right here in America. This trip isn't about foreign policy. It's about image rehabilitation. It's about rebranding chaos as courage, turning tragedy into campaign footage, and transforming global pain into a propaganda reel. Trump isn't seeking peace, he's seeking power. Every handshake, every speech, every headline will be used to resurrect the narrative he's been selling since day one, that he alone can fix it. But the world remembers what fixing it looked like for years of chaos, division, and betrayal. So, we have to ask, is this really about peace, or propaganda? Is this about healing, or headlines? Because when Trump says, I'll be back for Charlie, what he really means is, I never left the movement. The Trump-Kirk alliance wasn't just political, it was ideological. It was built on the belief that power justifies everything, the lies, the manipulation, the cruelty. And now, by immortalizing Kirk with the Presidential Medal of Freedom, Trump is sending a message to his followers. The movement lives on. They think we won't notice. They think we'll see the red carpets, the photo ops, the gold medals, and forget the truth. But we remember. We remember the lies. We remember the hate. And we remember the cost. Because Trump's world tour isn't a mission of peace. It's a victory lap for corruption dressed in the costume of diplomacy. The same man who spent years degrading America's moral standing is now parading as its moral compass. The same man who attacked democracy is now trying to wear its crown. And when he stands before the cameras, preaching unity, we'll be there reminding the world what unity really means. Because peace isn't born from politics, it's built on truth. And truth, no matter how loud the lies get, always finds a microphone. This moment, this trip, this spectacle, it's not about the hostages or the medal or even the nations involved. It's about control. Control of the narrative, control of the headlines, control of history itself. Trump believes he can erase the past by rewriting the present. But democracy has a longer memory than he realizes. The world may watch him shake hands, smile for the cameras, and speak of freedom. But behind every word is a calculation, a plan to reclaim the power he lost and the loyalty he demands. Yet what he underestimates is that people have changed. The world has seen the chaos, the cruelty, and the corruption up close. We know the difference between peace and performance, so let him take his trip. Let him give his speeches. Let him hand out his medals. Because in the end, no award, no photo op, no peace deal can cover up what the world already knows. That Trump's peace is an illusion, his diplomacy a disguise, and his leadership a lie. The cameras may flash, the crowds may cheer, but truth doesn't fade under bright lights. It shines through them. This is the real story, not the one they'll broadcast from the White House podium, but the one history will remember. The story of a man who tried to turn the world into his stage, and of a people who refused to be his audience. Because democracy isn't a show, it's a fight. And no matter how many medals he gives out or how many headlines he writes for himself, we're not backing down.